discount if you join this week. Oh, memberships to anything are so expensive. I should really take advantage of this.
Really, Dixie, we've got a 4-day weekend coming up without the guys. While they're at the North Carolina State Firemen's Association, we can do practically anything we want. Clipping coupons and looking for membership discounts to places that I'll never go to is the last thing on my mind.
4 days while our husbands are at the State Firemen's Convention. What do you suppose they do there for 4 days?
I think I'm ready to go. Hey, Frank, you ready to load?
Yeah, just bringing my gear out now.
I know that they talk about better ways of saving lives and property.
Yeah, I'm really proud of my guy. I can't think of a more dignified profession.
Saving lives, saving homes, saving family pets, learning how to make the lives of firemen across the state and the nation better.
Helping kids at the J.C. Burns Center.
They really do make a difference every day.
Bye, honey.
Oh,
We're going now. We're gonna go learn how to make a difference.
You know how I know how to do that? Yeah, you know I will. Hey.
You know what? I'm tired of staying at home. I want to make a difference too.
oh, but you do, Dixie, every day. I mean, your family loves you and needs you, and you've been there for me through so many things.
But sometimes I wish my life were more full of adventure. Oh, it's Donald Whitaker.
Pardon me, ladies, but are Frank and Bob around? I was hoping to give them something special to take to the conference with them, and I left it in the car.
Oh.
Give me just a minute, I'll run and get it.
Okay, they just left. You might miss it. You might see them while you're out in the car.
Oh, no, I think they pulled out of the driveway
did
already.
they?
Yeah,
I don't know what.
I don't know. We'll see.
I should have brought it in with me, but I forgot it.
That's all right. What is this?
Well, it's a hat. Yes, it is.
What's so special about it that
Well-
you had to bring it all the way over here to give it to them?
Well, it's an artifact from McDonald's Barhaven Museum in Pleasant Garden. One of these displays I was going to take there a little later on, so I thought I could give it to them and they could take it on the head.
Well, why a hat?
Well, oh, but it's not just a hat. It's one of the earliest firefighters had in modern firefighter history. You know, if you line up the different pieces of firefighter equipment and uniform as they develop through time, you get sort of a visual timeline of firefighter history. Those firefighters artifacts can pretty much take you back in time. Oh, that's Ethel, my wife. She's going with me. Maybe I'll see you there.
Oh, wait, Mr. Whitaker, you forgot.
Remember what Mr. Whitaker said? This hat can take you back in time.
Dixie, I don't think he meant it literally.
Well, he seems to know what he's talking about. Here, let me see that hat. Nothing's happening.
Well, of course nothing's happening. What did you expect? A time warp? Oh, Dixie!
Welcome, gentlemen, to the first annual convention of the North Carolina State Firemen's Association, held this day, September 26, 1888 in Greensboro. It was only a year ago when a group of us stood outside the old Union Hotel here in Greensboro, and that day we made a decision to create an organization which would protect and promote the best interest of the firemen of our state, which would collect information and statistics and examine the merit and improvement of fire apparatus, and would also cultivate the fraternal fellowship between the different companies in the state. We will now have a roll call of all the volunteer fire companies in the Old North State. Please state if your company is present. Greensboro Hook and Ladder Company.
Present.
Greensboro Steam Fire Engine Company.
Present.
Fayetteville Chicora Steam Fire Engine Company.
Present.
Salem Rough and Ready Steam Fire Engine Company.
Present.
Winston Steam Fire Engine Company, number 1.
Present.
Reedsville Steam Fire Engine Company, number 1.
Present.
Raleigh Rescue Steam Fire Engine Company, number 1.
Here.
Capital Hose Company.
Present.
Independent Hose Company.
Present.
Phoenix Hose Company.
Present.
Durham Dake Blackwell Hose Company.
Present.
It is moved that all the members joining this organization today be charter members, and that a dues membership of $1 be established.
Second! Dixie, we're not supposed to be here. But that's a really good deal.
Oh, it's 125 years ago. Come on, we gotta get out of here.
Boy, Greensboro sure has changed.
But that's because we're not in Greensboro anymore. According to this copy of the Robesonian, we're in Fayetteville, and it's July 23rd, 1912. That's 100 years ago. We've gone back in time 100 years. There must be really something strange about that hat.
Wow. I feel so underdressed.
Look, it's an election year.
Of course it's an election year. Obama's running.
Oh, it's an election year 100 years ago. Look, the Prohibition platform, and they're campaigning for the right for women to vote, and look, uniform marriage and divorce law. Boy, not a lot has changed in 100 years. Oh, and look. We propose that the sale of alcoholic beverages be prohibited. Oh.
Look, Billy! Look, hooray! Oh, don't you just love it? Look at the car floats and horse-drawn carriages. Oh, 19 of them!
You know, they must be competing in the 25th North Carolina State Firemen's Association convention. That's why they're
Horses! Aren't they beautiful? 25 of them. Oh, that must be one for every year.
Sherwood Rockwell.
Sir? Why, Mr. Young, sir. Congratulations on being elected as North Carolina's first insurance commissioner.
Well, thank you so very much, young man. It is so good to see you here at the North Carolina State Firemen's Association 25th Annual Convention. And listen, I've been thinking of some ways to reduce losses by fire, and that plan involves finding a young man, and that plan involves finding him with intelligence, someone with commitment and perseverance, who understands what kind of training a firefighter needs, and then having that young man go all across the great North State, training firefighters everywhere. And I believe I've found that young man.
Me, sir? Are you serious?
I could not be more serious. You, Mr. Rockwell, have been a volunteer firefighter since you were 10 years of age, and I can certainly think of no better choice.
Well, thank you, sir. I'm honored.
Yes, sir.
You know, Dixie, all this traveling is making me kind of hot. I could really use a drink. Well, you'll have to settle for a big old barrel of lemonade. Sheriff Geechee done raided 8 saloons last week and took up near 600 barrels of beer. It's going to be a dry summer in the old North State. Come on, girls, I could use some help with setting up the punch.
Oh, my God.
What? Don't move. What? Don't move, Spider. What?
Whoa there, Charlie. These fire horses are so well trained that even if they hear something that sounds like a fire bell, they'll go straight for the harness. That's why you can't retire one of them, because they always think they're still on duty. Good boy, good boy.
Oh, my. Oh, okay. Nothing's happening.
we need a visitor from the past to come join us and talk about the weather.
Maybe.
Oh, look, here she is.
I know you. It seems like we've met somewhere. Now I remember. You're the lady with the hat. We met 5 years ago and in Fayetteville at the 25th NCSFA convention. I moved here to Morehead City to be with my sister so she wouldn't be alone while her husband is at war.
War? Which war?
Why, the Green War, dear. President Wilson called for war against Germany last April. They say our boys may have to go to France next year. That's why we're not having firefighter competitions at convention this year. In fact, we may not have them again until the war's over and our boys come home. You know, plenty of us women are volunteering to fight fires while they're gone. There's such a shortage of men. Grab your buckets, ladies. We got fire to fight. You're Benjamin Franklin. Well, I thought we were going forward in time. I mean, it was just 1917 a minute ago, but you're from the 18th century.
Don't worry. We'll have plenty of time to catch up with the rest of the world. After all, we certainly must not squander time, for that's the stuff life is made of. You're wondering what I have to do with careers in firefighting, aren't you? James Young, whom you met back in 1912, was the first firefighter, was the first insurance commissioner, not firefighter, of North Carolina. However, I was the first insurance commissioner of the nation. I also started the first Union Fire Company, our country's first fire department, back in 1736.
I'm sorry, Mr. Franklin, excuse me, but I still don't understand why you're here. I mean,
You weren't a member of the North Carolina State Firemen's Association because it wasn't formed until 1888, and that was 100 years after you left.
I may have left, but my ideas did not. They kept developing, so I like to pop in every now and again to check on things and make sure everything is going according to schedule. After all, without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success would have no meaning. You see, in a few years, in 1922 to be exact, the NCSFA will create the Fraternal Firemen's Insurance Company of North Carolina. And a few years following soon after, in 1925, the NCSFA's No Discrimination on Account of Color Act will be ratified by the General Assembly, the same years that the bylaws of the NCSFA organization will be ratified and adopted. And in 1929, you're gonna love this, in 1929, the organization will have grown to over 4,000 firemen. So many firemen. So many firemen that they will have had to hire John Miller from Concord to serve as the first full-time secretary. And in 1930, the North Carolina State Firemen's Training School, our country's first school for firemen, will be organized by Sherwood Brockwell.
Sherwood Brockwell?
Yes! Yes, Sherwood Brockwell. You met him at the 25th annual convention back in 1912. You'll be meeting him again in the 50th at Golden Jubilee Convention in 1937. He does not confuse motion with action. He'll be around for a long time, continuously making improvements to the way that we train our firemen. That is one young lad who really did make a difference. Oh my, I must run. There should be some pretty good lightning to experiment with tonight. After all, it is the idle man who is the sad man, and the busy man who is the happy man.
Well, good day, Mrs. Shaw.
Me?
Yes, I'm Sherwood Brockwell, State Fire Marshal. Frank is your husband, right?
Frank? Yeah.
Frank Shaw.
No.
Fireman Chief Shaw, very highly respected. It's wonderful to see how his wife supports his efforts. Thank you again, Mrs. Shaw, for chairing the Ladies Entertainment Committee of the NCSFA's 50th Golden Jubilee Convention.
I did?
2:30 this afternoon. afternoon. You know, the ladies are looking forward to seeing what kind of activities you have for the program of activities. Celebrating 50 years of progress.
Dixie, let's get out of here. No, I want to see what I did.
Come on, y'all. There's a ball game at the World War Memorial Stadium. Come on.
That's not Prince. Wait. Wait, excuse me. What happened? Where are we? What year is it? I don't know. What happened to the ball game? Where are we? Where? Sir, excuse me, but can you help us? We're trying to find the NCSFA convention, but we don't know what city it's in because, frankly, we don't know what year it is.
It's 1945. North Carolina State Fire Association. There's no convention this year on account of the war. We had it in Charlotte last year in 1944. But the year before, that's in 1943, it was also canceled.
Well, if all the men are off fighting in the war, then who's left to fight the fires?
Our wives, sisters, mothers, and daughters. They're out there making a difference in the lives of all our families.
I want to volunteer. I want to make a difference too.
That's a great idea, but it takes a lot to be a firefighter. It's dangerous, hard duty, dirty, heavy work, and you have to know how to operate the equipment. That's why we have the North Carolina Fire College training program, something I'm proud to have helped to promote and grow.
Well, Mr.
Jernigan, Mr. Glenn Jernigan. I'm actually headed up to the 2012 convention, if you'd like to join me.
Well, Mr. Jernigan, do you think that you could train us to be firefighters too?
See, what are you getting us into? Look, I don't have the stomach for that kind of thing.
Your friend is right. It takes a special kind of person to be a firefighter. It's not something that everyone can or should do. But if you'd like, I would put you through the paces of one of our games and give you a taste of what it might be.
Oh, would you, Mr. Jernigan? I'm ready.
Okay, let's try the grab race.
Oh!
Grab your partner. Start to run. 50 yards until it's done. Now grab your reel and pick it up. 50 more up from the floor. Just start something. Now start on the reel at 48 feet. Put a hose to the floor. Now make it neat. If the bottom nozzle blows sky high, then you will be disqualified. Don't worry, ladies. That was a great try. Really, it takes practice. But if you keep practicing and training, you will really make a difference. Oh, here, madam, you dropped your hat.
I am so sorry to bother you again, but I forgot my hat.
Mr. Whitaker, am I ever glad to see you? And you know something? You were right. An artifact like this really can take you back in time and remind you where you came from.
It really is good to look back, but I like to go to the North Carolina State Firemen's Association. You know, the North Carolina State Firemen's Association has been around for 125 years. But just in recent history, by looking forward, the North Carolina State Firemen's Association has improved training, benefits, and communication for firefighters across the state. In 1966, we sponsored the first municipality fire administration class in Raleigh. In 1967, we sponsored legislation for arson investigation and control. In 1972, the General Assembly increased the death benefit program for firemen and rescue squad members from 5,000 to 25,000. North Carolina was the first state in the nation in 1975 to require smoke detectors in new homes and buildings. And in 1991, we started the Children Learn Not to Burn program. Not only has the North Carolina State Firemen's Association made a difference in the lives of firefighters, but by doing so, they have made it possible for firefighters to make a difference in the lives of so many people, both in our state and across the nation. Oh, I'm keeping Ethel waiting again. Well, it was lovely talking to you. Must go if I want to catch the Impulse concert at North Hills. Get it? The Impulse? The Impulse are playing for the fire department. You ought to come with your husband next year.
Wow. What just happened?
Are we back in 2012? Dixie, what is this?
Look, let me see. Oh, well, it's a souvenir program from the 1937 50th Annual North Carolina State Firemen's Association Convention. Whoa, well, how did that get here? I don't know. Look.
We met him.
Oh, yeah.
And we met him. And there's the committee that he thought you chaired. Hope it went well.
Wow. I never realized how much the NCSFA has done to make life better for our families and homes. They really have made a difference. And to think, it all started on that day in 1887 with a group of people standing out front of the old Union Hotel in Greensboro. They had an idea, and they thought that idea could make a difference.
Look, there's a poem at the back of the book. It's for the charter members of the North Carolina State Firemen's Association. 75 years ago, they honored them with this poem. An old man traveled a lone highway, came at evening, cold and gray,
to a chasm deep and wide.
The old man crossed the twilight dim, for the sullen stream held no fear for him.
But he turned when he reached the other side, and builded a bridge to span the tide.
Old man, cried a fellow pilgrim near, you are wasting your time with that building here.
Your journey will end with the ending day, and you never again will pass this way.
You have crossed the chasm wide, deep and wide. Why build a bridge at eventide?
And the builder raised his old gray head.
Good friend, on the path I have come, he said, there followeth after me today.
A youth whose feet must pass this way, this stream which has been not to me.
To that fair-haired boy may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim.
Good friend, I build this bridge for him.